And I would like to call Gábor Dehelán to the floor from the Department of Management and Business Economics. Gábor has over 30 years of experience across diverse industries, including digital business, commerce, automotive, and IT consulting. He specializes in business development, innovation management, and entrepreneurship education. He is passionate about helping startups and scale-ups validate and grow their business models through strategic mentoring, coaching, and program development. Currently, Gábor is part of the entrepreneurship education and innovation management team at Budapest University of Technology and Economics, and he's supporting the next generation of innovators and change makers. Gábor, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Barbara. Hello, everybody. I am Gábor. I must also say I'm an entrepreneur since many, many years, so I'm really, really sorry if I would be not so sophisticated as the previous presenter of me. There is a saying when we are talking about entrepreneurship and especially business development that don't be afraid. We can always innovate. And the most important thing about innovation and business development is to understand where do you want to go. You need to understand, you need to have a map. We also say there that there is no sailor who will reach safe harbor without knowing how to navigate the sea. So what I'm trying to do, is it a touch screen? No, it's not a touch screen. So if you're lucky enough and you're looking on the internet for how to develop your business, you will certainly get to this graph. Okay, this is nothing special. It's a financing cycle, basically for innovative businesses. And you see how do you navigate to successfully reach out at your destination point. The destination point is the IPO, is getting out on the block market. But that's not so accurate. Does it really help me? Do you understand? What should I do? Especially if I'm a researcher, if I have a technology-heavy product or solution, how do I navigate through this map? There is what we call, which you are certainly familiar with, the technology readiness level. Yeah, so that's what NASA has equipped the industry with. This is the 9th scale of how technology shall be internationally phased from the basic principles till 9, which is an actually proven and operational environment solution. But business is tricky. This is for technology. It's right. It's okay. What should I do with the business? How should I transform my technology into a business? Me and my colleague, we've been working more than 15 years with early stage ideas, and we are trying to help them to get to a point where does it make sense to make a business about. And although there is a lot of people who tried to define what is the opposite of technology readiness level, we defined what is important in the business side. So we created our own scale about the business readiness level. The business readiness level is looking like that. It's especially for the early stage companies. It consists of the idea phase, which is the business readiness level 1. Then you need to have an early MVP, minimum viable product. Then you need to validate it to get through the defined MVP. Should I point with this one? Can I point? No, sorry. Back. So the defined MVP, then you prepare a prototype, which is hopefully enough to create a production. Then you prepare the production. Then you enter the market. Then you go for the next stage, which is the scale up, and then finally reach the exit or the IPO stage. So you can say that, okay, Gabor, that's fine. You have given us an 8 scale of business readiness level, but still, how do these compare with the previous map? How do these compare with the financing cipher? I do not understand. Well, you are not alone. Many people are struggling with that. It's not an easy job. But let's take a closer picture. How can we merge the technology readiness level, the business readiness level, the environment in which you need to succeed with a business? Take the basics, okay? So this is nothing special. This is the normal graph with the depth valley, with a certain round on influence which are possible to reach during the innovation development. And you see, I've already marked a space where I've written that there is a university, R&D, and a lab. Because the technology readiness levels, they consist also of basic researches, which are not necessarily transferable one-on-one to a business. Here at the university, for example, most of the research begins at TRL 1. And if you're ending the research, you're making your first, let's say, Q1 note about it, it will reach around TRL 4, TRL 5. Where does this TRL 1 to 4 or 5 fits into the graph? It fits here. It's still not reached the business readiness level 1. Because the business readiness level begins from TRL 6 around. And although this is a generic graph, and of course there might be differentiating factors depending on which industry you are in, but in general we can say that a startup will begin to work, or a spin-off, they begin to work with an idea which is between TRL 6 and TRL 9. That's approximately the same situation like we were nominating them that they are in the Death Valley. You know what is the Death Valley? The Death Valley is when you receive your firm's funding, you are beginning to spend to find the business model, to prove your concept. And the Death Valley is the Death Valley because most of the startups fail for many different reasons. In general, the statistics says that only 1 to 5 out of 10 startups survive the Death Valley. So previously in the morning, we heard about the magic 10% number. Hell, I would be really glad to have 10% of the startup survive, honestly. So this is how we see it, and that's how we apply the technology readiness level. But what about the business readiness level? Where do I place this one? Here. So you see, during the Death Valley phase, actually the idea phase begins at TRL 5. That's where a startup begins to have, oh, this research is interesting. This solution, I might have a useful business case for it. That's where they began to search on it, to work on it. Then they go to the cycle of validation. They define an early MVP. They're defining a final MVP. They are building a prototype. And around that they finish the prototype and they are preparing for the production side, that's when they are, if they are lucky, out of the Death Valley. If not, sorry, next idea. So, but okay, there are these two readiness levels. Who are helping me? Hello, I'm an entrepreneur, I need help. Who I need help for? Well, there are several institutions. Obviously, those who are on the financial side, they are not really ready to provide support for you. They are providing money. Okay, so that's one kind of a support. But the other kind of support, which is really, really important internationally, is the incubation part. And incubation can happen in that segment between TRL 4 and TRL 9, from the idea phase to the production ready phase. That's where incubation are working. You can find several incubation. Some of them are offering money prices, some of them are asking fees for their services, and there are a few of one who are not asking money, not asking equity, not asking shares. They are simply providing support. What happens if you are at a later stage or an early stage? Obviously, you don't need any more incubation. You have already your production ready. You want to go to the market. You need a different type of support. You need, well, of course, sorry, I always forget, testing. Testing. Product, services, validation, everything is testing. It shall happen during these first phases. And after that, if you're lucky and successful, then you have the possibility to participate into an accelerator program. Acceleration is a much, much shorter time period and time frame than an incubation. It does not entail teaching. It does not entail closed coaching, mentoring, in the sense what we understand it into the incubation. If you reach already your acceleration part, you already have a business model developed and you want already go to the market. So you need connections, you need network, you need presence in the media, you need presence in the industry. I need to build from this one. So that's why acceleration is the higher education of project development. And okay, we are here. But you can ask, okay, but how much the time do I spend on that? A research, how much take a research to make? 1 year, 2 years, 10 years? We had here at the university a project that had 20 years of research. So depending on the industry, depending on the idea you have, just to get from TRL 5 to just to get to TRL 5, you need at least 12, but in rare cases, 120 months. So I repeat, 120 months. That's a number that Barbara do not like to hear. Because when you are applying for a grant and you are telling them, okay, Barbara, let's see us in 120 months. Oh my God, there is no such grant that goes 120 months. No, there isn't. So if you are in the research field that needs that much time, then you will be really, really close friends with Barbara, because each 4 years you will meet her. Okay? Okay. So that's a generic number. But how much does it take for me? Let's leave the area from technology readiness level. How much does it take for me to get from the idea phase to a prototype? Well, since we've been working with startups in the last 15 years and scale-ups, our experience shows that these 4 phases can be reached between 18 and 24 months. So can you imagine that I have the idea to do a business, and just to prepare the business to be acceptable on the market, so investors and any other interested peers can connect to it, I need a team to work on it at least 18 to 24 months. It's consuming. It needs dedication. That's why you cannot go into the shelves and go into any faculty of the university and say, I want you to produce me 5 startups next month. That's not how it works. It takes time. Okay. So we have the prototype ready, but production. You are technical engineers. Production is tricky, no? So just from the idea, just from the prototype, our estimation shows that at least 12 months will be spent on make the production ready. Not from the technical point of view, not only from the technical point of view, but from financial point of view, to signing the contract, to building the businesses from with whom you will produce the product. And it doesn't matter if it's a physical product or it's a digital product, it's the same. So 12 months. So we are already at almost 3 years, and we are still in the production ready phase. So, okay. I need to go to the market. I'm enough. I'm tired. I want to go to the market. I want money. I want somebody to pay. Yeah, I have bad news. The time for the go to market is defined per market. So at least you need 6 to 12 months to establish a presence, to introduce your product to the market, to build the sales funnel, to build the complete process of your solution to be done. And yeah, people are coming from the informatics department. Okay, but we are just translating it. No. Translating any solution, any product is not the go-to-market strategy. There are many other aspects that you need to take into account. So that's 6 to 12 months. So we at the Department of Management, when I'm working now, we are having on several level courses. We are having a support system for you to learn what to do in the idea phase, what to do in the early minimum viable product phase, what to do in the defined minimum viable product phase, how to make the prototype ready, and how to prepare for production, and how to build a businesses. But don't forget, we are not miracle maker. We are not working instead of you. We are not working for you. We are helping you to do it. So doing a business is realizing your dream. Doing a business is understanding that I am more capable if I'm doing it together with others, because there is no way that I can do everything by myself. So my closing words for here, that of course if you're interested, you will have an email to reach me at the end, but not now. Focus on building a team around you. You maybe recognize that I don't have any fancy 3-letter abbreviations. I'm not coming from the academic world. I'm coming from the market. I'm coming from the business side. But I do like abbreviations, and there is an abbreviation which I would really like you to remember. The team is an abbreviation. You know what it stands for? Together, everybody achieves more. Thank you very much, and good luck.